I'm Charlotte Jessup and this is the Looking After Your Pennies YouTube channel. This is the second video in my Finance in 5 series where I explain financial topics in 5 minutes or less. Today I'm going to give you the lowdowns on pensions. Let's start the clock. Disclaimer, this is financial education, not financial advice. Pensions can be tricky products, so seek advice from an FCA-regulated financial advisor if needed. Also, when investing, like in a pension, your money can go down as well as up, so make sure you understand the risks. Number 1, what is a pension? Pensions are a retirement product. You pay into it whilst you're working with the aim that when you stop working, you can use this money to fund your lifestyle. It's probably worth noting that pensions can have different names around the world. I'm talking about pensions in the UK. In the US, a pension is a type of retirement plan rather than being a synonym. In Australia, they have supers, short for superannuations. What types of pensions are there? Generally, pensions fall into 2 categories, defined benefit and defined contribution. Defined benefit pensions, sometimes referred to as DB for short, are most commonly seen in the public sector. Teachers' pensions and NHS pensions are this type. They work on you and your employer paying money now so that when you're older, they'll pay you sort of a salary. It's like a financial promise. If you pay this amount, we'll give you this amount. Generally, these sorts of pensions are considered quite desirable because you know pretty much what you'll get when you retire. So let's compare these to defined contribution pensions. These work on a pot scheme. You pay in and your employer too, and then you hope that the pot is big enough for you to live on when you retire. The money in the pot is invested. This means that it can go up or it could go down. Hence why people like the certainty that comes with the other type. These pensions are more common and likely found in the private sector. So how do you contribute? For those that are in employed work, you will be invited to join your workplace pension scheme. There are criteria you need to meet and I've got a whole other video about that. Your contributions will then be taken out of your salary and made straight into your pension. If you have a DC pension, then that amount will go straight into the pot. If you have a DB pension, then you'll earn yourself some more money in your annual payout when you're retired. There are a few bonuses to this too. One is that your employer will likely be making contributions. This is extra money that you can add to the pot. You'll also get tax relief on this, meaning that you get some of the tax that you pay back on your salary into the pot too. This is why it is worth considering your workplace pension and doing so before you look at other retirement funding ideas. Essentially, it is free money. So what about if you're self-employed? The great thing about being self-employed is that you have no employer. When it comes to pensions, this is also the downside. There will be no one topping up your pension pot as you make payments, but it is still worth considering how you'll fund your retirement. Self-invested personal pensions, or SIPs, allow you to invest into a pension, either as an individual or through a company. If you are investing as an individual, you'll still be entitled to the tax relief, so you'll get that top-up. There are lots of options out there for SIPs, so you need to do your research before you open one. I'll cover some of the things that you need to look out for in the next section. How to look after your pensions. Many people think that they can ignore their pensions until they're old, but in reality, the younger you are when you start paying into a pension, the better. You also can't then ignore them. It is worth checking in on them every now and then and checking that they're still growing as expected. You want to check the following. How much you have in there. Is this where you want it to be at this point in your life? The fees. High fees will corrode your pension pot, so make sure that wherever your pensions are, that they have low fees. This is particularly important when looking at old pensions from previous employers. Check where your money is invested. This can vary from pension to pension, so you want to think about whether these investments are going to grow your money as you like, how risky they are, and whether or not they align with your morals. Where can you find your old pensions? If you've moved jobs fairly regularly, then there is a chance that you'll have several pensions in different places. And if you want to look after your pensions, then you'll want to know where they are being kept. You have some options here. You can ring your old employer and ask them. You can use the pension tracing service, which is a website where you can find the contact details of your old pensions, or you could use your new pension provider. So if you are looking to combine together old pensions, then your new provider may have a service where they can hunt down these old pensions for you. But be careful with this, as there may be some charges involved, and you may want to get some advice first. Checking your old pensions is important. It is your money. You wouldn't leave money sitting in an old bank account, so don't do the same with your pension. Also, I have heard several stories of people whose old pension pots were rapidly diminished by fees, so you don't want that to be you. If you want more information about pensions, then check out some of my other videos. There are a whole bunch of them for you to watch. Thanks for watching today. This is Finance in 5, and you have been learning the basics of pensions. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!